last thing for us to do live is going to be crashing the bus and recovering.
Okay, so there is for Erica and Graham.
Yeah.
We'll go over this a little bit in the all hands day after tomorrow, but
You mean tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Already started.
The run is the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
The all hands is tomorrow. I mentioned earlier on that the bus is much sharper and clearer and brighter, and that is because we're using Mr. Pi, which is a really great programmable processor to run the game basically natively on hardware that's programmed to be a Sega Genesis and CD.
That's hilarious.
So normal emulation stuff is like it's emulating a stuff on a regular processor. This processor is reprogrammed to act like a Sega Genesis.
That's wild.
So it is as close to, it is basically exactly the same, but it is running on a different device. But that means that there is some slight changes. But from the perspective of playing, other than being sharper and nicer, we're still using a Genesis controller.
Good.
It's still, the buttons all work exactly the same. Matt made sure to get us a zero latency controller setup, which he spent a lot of time to make
Very
sure
important.
Hell yeah.
So get frame accurate inputs.
That'll help for our speed run.
It's not going to throw off our splits.
But it also means we're not going to need to do anything. What the big problem we had last year, the reason we're doing this is because we switched. We had two different hardware solutions. We had a Genesis, and we had what was the European one called that we had?
The XI?
The XI.
The JVC XI.
And the JVC XI had really great outputs, which was way better than the CD, the Sega CD. But both of them suffered from the same thing. Their optical pickups were failing on us, and we were having trouble having it read the disc. And every time we restarted the game, we weren't sure if it was going to come back.
I spent hours doing it.
So now, as you can see, Corey has now crashed that bus, and we can remotely. Oh.
Excellent.
Corey doesn't need to do anything now. He could sit and watch and wait for the tow truck to come and take him back all the way. He can also hit start a bunch of times to try and get back to the main menu and stuff. Or we could just ask engineering if they could just please reboot the Sega Genesis. Reboot it.
Could you tow that bus for us, engineering?
And so when you reboot, it goes right into the Sega CD, no kind of like emulation kind of things that you'd be normally used to because it's programmed to be a Sega CD.
Nice.
And
Do we have the... This is not important. Do we have the audio from that?
yes,
Yeah,
No way.
yeah,
we tested the audio earlier.
Like that we can hear? Or is it just for the
can
viewers
if
to
you
hear?
want both.
Yeah, when he was doing the whole.
Can you... Wait, can you reset it again so we can hear the Sega CD boot theme? It's so good. And I haven't heard it in a year.
Look how sharp the image is too.
Wait,
You know what I realized?
no, it keeps going. It's okay.
guess
This
their
is
auto
very close to
goes
the
at some point.
opening soundtrack of Echo the Dolphin.
Oh, yeah.
Reminds me of something else from that era as well.
And that concludes our scheduled programming.
So yeah, we've gone through all this stuff. So we're going to now go away and see if we can make sure we can fix all of this stuff before the live programming at 3 on Friday. Thank you for all of the engineers and all of our volunteers that are helping with this tech test. Thank you, all of you. I think James mentioned 1,000 people were tuning in, which is amazing. Thank you all for tuning in and giving your feedback. And we will be back in almost exactly
46.
46.
There you go.
Amazing.
Oh,
We will see
God.
you soon. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Donate so we get waffles and tea.
Yes.
I want my slushy.
Beer.
Yeah.
And whatever comes from the 7-Eleven at 3 o'clock.